Welcome to a very grumpy John's garage. Customer didn't turn up, so I'm calling it a Jeep day. I prefer the customer to come in so I can make some money so that I can buy Jeep parts. Right, as you can see in front of me, I've got the drive shaft. This one is the rear. That's it all done. Universal joints in, all nicely done. If you look at this here, that area there and that bit there, they are matching. And that's the way you've got to have it when you're... It's just so that the prop shaft doesn't vibrate. They've got to be matched. I think that's what they call it, matched up. So that they're the same plane. So that that's bit... If you can see in this picture here, you can see it, that plane there and that plane there all matched up the same. It's easy enough to do. All you do is sit that on a flat surface, equal flat surface, and then just join them up together, slip in, because that's your slip joint there, and then this is actually on the, I think, what would that be? That'll be on the transfer box, and that's on the front diff. That's on the brake drum on the transfer box, and this is the diff. There's a wee U-shaped clamp on there. That's the ones I've got. Same with that. As you can see, this one here hasn't got is it a yoke? I think it's called a yoke. So the U-shaped clamps. Hang on, I'll get one. That's the clamp in there. So that's your... This is the bit onto the transfer box, and you can see it there. That's it there. That's that wee clamp. And what it does, so that goes on there like that, and then this clamp has got another bit like that, but on the rear diff. I don't think I can see it from here. There we go, you can see it on the diff there. That's the two old ones. You can see the mounting, the two clamps. I'll be talking you through how I'm fitting them anyway. You can see the wee bit there. That's to stop the cap coming off the end of the universal joint. So I've just got this one left here. I've taken the UJ out of there. That one there is just like that one. And you notice I've got the dust cover here. That's the dust cover there. That's a rubber, basically a rubber seal. That's it. So the slip joint here goes in and out, and it's got grease inside there. You see the wee grease nipple. So you grease that, it slips up and down as the suspension goes up and down, and so it slips in and out. Not much, but it just slips in and out. And then you've got your universal joint with your different caps. That's a dust seal. And then your cap with the bearings in it. They are roller bearings. So they're long, thin. I'll show you them once. And then you've got the clip at the end here, that clip. You can see the dust boot there. And then you've got that bit's on the diff. And then this bit here goes on, and then you fold the edges over. Just there like that, just to hold it on. So what we're going to do to get the U-joint out is we're going to put it in the press. You could probably do it in the vise, but my vise is not wide enough jaws opening. The first thing you got to do is take these clips out, and that, like that one there. And then what we'll do is we'll press it from one side and it'll come out the other side to a certain point. So the best way to do it is you've got the grease nipple. The grease nipple, have that up the way, so when that goes through, it doesn't jar on the grease nipple on there, that shoulder. These are quite tight. Suppose they could be the original ones. The cap does say something. Got marks in the end. Spicer USA. So it might be the originals. 80 years old. Feel like it when they're... Right. Over to the press. That's the best I can get you. It's really cold. I seem to be feeling the cold a lot. But anyway, get on with this. So I've got the... Come a bit closer. There we go. Well, I've got a plate with a hole in it. You can see it's just round about the same size, but bigger than the wee cap that comes out of it. So we're basically just going to press that. You see I've got my nipple to the top, and that's going to push that one through and that one through at the same time. And then we'll pull that out. There we go, that's it through. There we go, that's better. Right, we'll let it off, pull it out. As you can see, it came out. So it's basically popped that one through and that one out the bottom. Nice and easy. But what we'll have to do, we'll have to clean up. There's meant to be a cap on the end there, but I don't have one, so... I bet that's welded on. Let me think about it. Remember this with the hole in the end? No more. What I done, I went on to Joe's Motor Pool, cheap parts, but Joe's Motor Pool doesn't do drive shafts. Cheap parts were about £250 for the whole thing, although you do get the drive shaft universal joints fitted as well, so it's a complete thing, so that you can take one off and fit a new one on. Dallas Auto Parts are cheaper. They are £220. That's for the front drive shaft. Can't get them separate on these websites anyway. You'll probably get another. I'll eventually get another one. You got to make do. So, just so happens, my brother James was on the phone to him, complaining about this. And he says, what to do, take a measurement of the size of it and order a freeze plug like you get in the engines. So I thought, well, that's a brilliant idea. But then, this is a steering box. See that hole there? That's for a freeze plug or dust cover, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But it's a freeze plug anyway. And it's made to come out if water gets into it and the water freezes. It expands out here instead of splitting the box itself. So, how's that? Fitted absolutely perfect. So what I've done, I've put a wee bit of, it's called Tiger Seal. It's called Tiger Seal, right? And it's adhesive sealant. The best there is. It's made by U-Paul, Tiger Seal. Fantastic. It does everything. It's a 1K formula. It seals and bonds permanently, and it can be overpainted. I've been using this for years. I've put trims on with it. I've put bits of clips, put a blob of this on, and you put it in where the clip should be. It adheres to paint, adheres to metal. It's fantastic, and it never comes off. When you need to take it off, it's an absolute nightmare to come off, and it gets everywhere. Tiger seal, and then what I've done, I've got my ball peen hammer and knocked the edges in of the old, what's left of the old one, so it's basically covered over the top of it. It's holding that in. Perfect, magic idea. Thanks, James. Although it's my ingenuity that's done it. I've cleaned all that out. Another help from someone. This is from my dad. He gave me these little files, little fine files. He called them something, but I can't remember the name of them. Got in all the little ridges inside there, got all them cleaned out before I put this on. So they're all cleaned out, and I cleaned this off. As you can see, there's no dirt or debris in there. I don't know what the heck they put in it, but it was solid grease that was in it. But it's all nice and clean now. You can see there, they call it a slip joint, slip yoke. And that goes in and out, so as the diff rises or drops, it comes out in and out. And next thing I'm going to do is put the joints on. Now with this one here, it's got that joint on there. Can't remember what the name it's called. What's it called? Flange. Call it a flange. Yeah, it's got that flange. That's what we'll call it. But this one doesn't have that, because it goes onto the front diff, as you've seen on the rear diff. It's got the same clamps. Them. So it goes onto the front. This one goes onto the front of the transfer box. So it doesn't have a flange like that, because it's fixed onto the Jeep itself. So I'll put one in, and then I'll do the other one off camera. Before I go and do that, I'll show you. This is a universal joint I'm using, Timken. That's the part number. Can't remember where I got them. The Timken universal joint comes with these clips, circlips. Nothing like the originals. That's the original. That's the Timken one. There is a difference in thickness. So when I put that one in, it's just a bit too loose for me. I didn't like it. So I thought, I ordered another set. Completely forgot that I had the set of Timken ones, because you look at that box and you think, bearing. So that box has been sitting in with my wheel bearings for my front end, and I've just thought it was wheel bearings. So I went and ordered another set from Joe's Motor Pool. Yeah, so these ones are just no-named brand, £14 each, but it comes with the right clip. There we go, perfect. So what I'm doing, I'm using the Timken bearings and Joe's Motor Pool clamp. No doubt I'll need them in the future. I'll probably carry one or two of them with me over the press. Let's do the slip yoke. First thing we do is we put one of these clips in. I like giving it a wee twist just to get it seated nicely. So what we're doing is we're putting that in there like that. so that when we press this in, it's not going to come out the other end like we do when we're taking it off. The way I took this out of here, this is the old one. The grease nipple was in towards the yoke, so we'll do that. You can see it's off centre. You can see it there, but if you turn it around, it's further down. Where are we? There we go. So it sits up the way. So you want that towards the yoke. That's the way it was in the other one. There we go. We'll put it like that. What you've got to do, you've got to take one of these off carefully. Yeah, what you got to do, there's your spring. Got to go in through the top like that and put it in and set it in like that. Then this one, your spare one, you got to watch. See the little needle bearings in there? Put it on there. Give it a wee twist. So it sits like that. So this one's proud and this one's proud. And then we'll go and press it in so they go in at the same time. But it'll hit off that. So that'll stop it and that'll tell us where to stop. So we're just making sure that that's level on the plate. Then we get it centred and then just pump. You can see it's going in nice and easy. I like to stop a wee bit and give it a wee turn so it's seating on the roller bearings. Should just be about it, nearly. One more. There we go, that's it in. And just check. Do we just a tad more? Ooh, hear the jets. Right, that's it, over at the bench. And then just put the clip in. This one's not as easy to turn, so I just give it a wee tap just to go in. Just to seat nicely. There we go. That's it. Now we'll go and do the other one. That's a clip in. Then grease nipple towards the flange. And put this in just nicely. That one goes in a wee bit further. Really need to grease this thing. Give it a wee wiggle. And one more. Nicely. That's nice. And that's nice. We'll go and put the clip in. There we go. Number 2 done. Nice and easy. Now that we've got our universal joints in, Hardy Spicers, whatever you want to call it, and we've got this one in. So we're going to clock it so that they're level, so that they're a matched set. Before that, we've got to put this on. So this has got lines on it, just so it goes over the splines. And then you've got the rubber seal. It splits. So that just goes on over that. So when the slip yoke slips up and down, it only runs on the splines like that. It doesn't come out over the splines. It runs on this little shoulder here. It runs on that little shoulder in and out. Once it's got a bit of grease on it, it's fine. We'll get this end level on the bottom on the table, holding it up, and then we'll get this end level. And just pull them together and they'll fit in. Just like that. Oh. That's how clean I cleaned them. So then there's this seal. That's got to come up on that shoulder there. So back over at the bench, the way I do it is just a pair of locking pliers. Oh. And just pull it. And pull it round. Just go round. So you're pulling up against that shoulder. And then once it's up over that shoulder, you've got to knock over the wee tab. And then right round the other side. Pull it in a couple of places. Hold it and knock it in. You don't have to go mad banging it. You're just turning that over just to hold that on. There we go. And there we are. One rebuilt drive shaft. So what I'll do is I'll just put a wee bit of tape over them to stop them coming off. Not that they will, but just to protect it. And then I'm going to give it I'll pull this out a wee bit, give it an aerosol primer. And then I'm going to paint them tomorrow maybe. And there we go, that's the 2 done. You see I've got the steering arm primed. That's wee bits to do with the gauges, the speedo. There's a steering arm, another steering arm, and the pedals, and the steering wheel. There's another look at that drive shaft. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial showing you how to rebuild and put on your universal joints and fix the end of your slip yoke. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. And yes, I did forget to put the lube grease on my shaft.
That's it, boy. Get in there nice and deep like.
So, nice wee bit of grease in there, just to help. So that's it matched up. I'll put these wee clamps back on now.